Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
BECU presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
That's right, man. Todd Peach. 25 years, over 25 years of experience in the financial world, man. He just knows his business about the monies, and BECU is a great place to do your banking. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington State, man, you can apply for a BECU membership, and it's a credit union, and they do a lot better for you than the average bank, and they do a lot of stuff that banks do, but they take care of you because they're not trying to just make a profit. They're actually trying to, make stuff for you. That's what credit unions do. How did I do, Todd? Did I describe that pretty well? I don't think I did.
Couldn't have done any better, BJ. Thank you.
Well, you know what? You're a kind man because I think you probably could have done a lot better. But if you've got questions for Todd, 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999, whatever is on your financial mind.
All right, we got the first text message we got this morning. Todd, could you please ask Todd about debt consolidation and how to do it so that it doesn't mess with your credit score, specifically offers you receive in the mail? Thank you.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't jump at the offers you receive in the mail. Those are usually a company's for profit. They're probably not going to do anything for you that you can't do on yourself. What I would recommend is that you reach out to the National Foundation for Credit Counselors. It's nfcc.org. These are nonprofit organizations, fully accredited, and they're going to work in your best interest. They're probably going to start with taking a look at what your credit is. If you're looking at debt consolidation, do you have good credit right now? If that's going to help you to get better rates as you can consolidate those into something else. If you don't have good credit, it's going to be a little bit tougher. So I would recommend nfcc.org. Reach out to them. They should get you in the right direction, but I would not pay attention to the things you get in the mail.
Yeah, dude, the mail ones always, they annoy me because they always look so exciting and enticing, and then you're like, wait, this sounds too good to be true.
Well, it's actually funny that Todd mentioned, I almost fell for one of the debt consolidation things a few years ago when I was like massively in debt, and luckily I talked to Todd and he told me, and they helped me get out of debt, and it's been about 4 years and it was an uphill climb, but I reset my credit score and got pretty much completely debt free. So thank you, Todd.
Well, you're saying Todd did that?
Todd did that.
That's awesome, Danny. I mean, and you did it yourself, honestly. You have to do it yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. So until you realize that you can make a difference and you can change your behavior, then it'll happen. So
he didn't do it.
Hats off to you,
Todd. It was all you. I mean, come on. We all know Danny. He had nothing to do with that. He's just, yeah. It's nice of you to say, but come on.
Yeah, I mean, we know Danny. He doesn't do anything. Todd, I think this is a good point to bring up, because people like Danny and a lot of people out there, myself included, for different reasons, really at a young age, we did not know anything about money and how to manage things. And then what happens is we find ourselves in a situation where we see these too good to be true things because we're in such peril. Todd, what can people do to get more information? Just at a young age, like where could they actually turn to their bank? I mean, I don't know if people think of doing that.
Well, I can only speak of BECU, BJ, because I don't work anywhere else. But our empowering our members and educating them, that's at the core of what we do. So we have all kinds of webinars and seminars. If you're looking to buy a home, you're looking to get out of debt, whatever your goals are, we have a ton of resources. We have people, financial health check will walk you through. So we do have a ton of resources, and I don't want to just harp on just BECU, but credit unions in general, at the core of what we do as credit unions is to empower and educate our members to make smart decisions. But outside of that, I mean, I do wish we had something in high school or some sort of a financial literacy course that we could teach the kids. But unfortunately, our state at this time does not, but some other states do.
It is pretty insane. It's insane, Todd, to think, look, I mean, obviously, I know how we pride education in Washington State. We want our kids to be smart, but that's not considered part of any smart curriculum.
Not at this time. No, not yet. We're pushing for it. We hope it'll happen someday. But I mean, I guess I would say if you're a member of a credit union, reach out to your credit union, see what kind of financial education literacy courses they may have for you, and then kind of go from there.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999 if you want to talk to Todd Peach. That's the way to do it. Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Someone texted in. This one comes up a lot, and I feel like we've talked about it a bunch of times, but I think it's something that's always good to we talk about, especially when we talk about credit scores. Someone want to know what's the best way to improve your credit. Our credit's good, about 700, but I'd like to improve it. What do you recommend?
Okay. Well, let's talk about what makes your credit score. 35% of it is just making your payments on time. So getting those bills in the mail, and you're making those payments on time.
Thank God for auto payment, man. That saved me.
Yeah.
Seriously, I would always forget.
Yeah, that's a great point, Steve, is you can put it on autopilot and you don't have to worry about, missing that credit card payment or whatever it may be. Another 30%, so 65% of your score total. So 30% is called what's utilization. So let's say you have $1,000 credit limit on a credit card. You want to keep that, if possible, below 10%, no more than 30%. So that means when you get that statement in the mail, if they have $1,000 credit limit, we want that statement to show $100 or less, and no more under any circumstances more than $300 in that scenario. So if you do those two things, that's 65%, then you have your mix of credit and time, and then applying for new credit. So you don't really want to apply for new credit unless you have to. It'll incur a short-term ding on your credit, but it'll recover fairly quickly. But I would just encourage everybody, just do those two things. Pay on time, keep your credit low, and maybe have a couple of credit cards possibly if you can. Pay them off every month. Don't incur any interest, and you will get much above 700 on your credit score.
And, Todd, it's very frustrating. I'm glad you bring up the fact that, there's a percentage that, 10% of what your credit limit is really what you should be spending on the credit card every month. It's frustrating because I have a credit card that says, hey, man, the more you spend, the more money you get back. And so I would like to, I would max that thing out because everything I spend is on that credit card so I can get the cash back. But then your rule would make me look like I'm a bad guy, even though I pay it off every month. But I surely do, I do more than the 10% you recommend.
Yeah, what I do, BJ, is I just make extra payments. So once a week, I'll within online banking, it's so easy. Because I do the same thing because you have cash back rewards, right? So why not get the cash back if I can? I'm not going to pay an interest, but I just once a week, or if you make a big purchase, just go in online banking and pay it off. So when you get that statement, your balance is is much lower. So let's say you spent $5,000 that month because you had to buy appliances or whatever. But you can still have that, so it shows no balance or very low balance when your statement cycle runs. So if you know when your statement cycle runs, just make sure that payment's made ahead of time.
Nice. 206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. We're talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Boy, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited what Todd's going to say about this.
Oh, boy, here we go.
So this texter says, I want to buy my girlfriend an engagement ring. It's about $6,000.
Wow.
Should I use a service like Affirm, or should I use a credit card at 11% interest?
And option C was paying cash, right?
I didn't have that, yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know, right off the bat, tell you know what? Just show you how much I love you. I need to go in debt and pay a ridiculous interest rate because I love you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
I was curious because Todd, you're very wise with your money and you're frugal, and that's a big purchase.
It is, and I get it. You know, I guess I would be looking for. I would do two things: is looking for the lowest interest rate I could, whatever that is. I don't know if you own a home, if a home equity line is even an option, or whatever the lowest interest. But then most importantly is how quickly can I get that thing paid off? And don't look at if they give you a 5-year term or 3 or whatever. How quickly can I do that in 6 months, 12 months? What does that look like? And focus on that. So I mean, I get it. It's very important. And sometimes we have to. That's why debt exists, but you want to make it play to your advantage, not the creditor.
Yeah, I gotta get like a Seahawks Super Bowl ring if I'm dropping that kind of.
Yeah, you aren't kidding, Steve. What the heck? You know what? They should sign you. You should be on the team.
Thank you.
Todd, is there, because you talk about the financial literacy classes, that's something that, well, it's so unfortunate that there are expectations on what you should do with that kind of purchase. It would be nice if everybody involved knew what was reasonable for their pretty much where they, what they're earning in their life. And Todd, is that, I mean, you have kids, and so that discussion's got to come up. And what do you say so that, there can be a reasonable conversation? Because $6,000 sounds like a lot of dough. And I mean, it would be it would have been a lot of dough for me. I didn't buy my wife a $6,000 ring, or I don't even know if I bought her a $1,000 ring.
Well, I mean, I guess 6,000 is probably not unreasonable, BJ, in our world today. I mean, 30 years ago, congratulations on your anniversary, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
But, yeah, I mean, that, a long time ago, $6,000, it was probably equivalent with inflation, I don't know, $300 or $400, $500 maybe, I don't know.
Oh, all right. That sounds about right.
We're talking, we're apples to apples here, but so it's probably not over the top. I guess I let my kids make their own financial decisions and mistakes, and I'm there to guide them if they want it. I try not to get too involved, but I do encourage them. Are you wanting to buy that house? How are you going to get there? We got through college, got that. No, they don't have any student loan debt, so.
That's amazing.
I'm there for a coach, but I'm not there to tell them and look over their shoulder and tell them everything they need to do. I think they need to figure some of that out on their own.
I like this texter's advice. Do the credit card, 11%, because remember, your debt becomes her debt, so technically she'll be paying for her own ring.
Hadn't thought about that. That's genius right there.
Right?
Well, if you didn't get through to get to Todd, we have an email address that you can, and Todd answers any question that you have. Just go to KISW.com. You'll scroll down and see Todd's face on a banner. His smiling face will be there. Click on that, and then you can email Todd. And if he can, he'll answer any question you have. Todd, do appreciate you being with us, buddy.
Thanks, BJ. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And don't forget, man, BECU, great place to do your banking. It's a credit union. And if you live, work, or attend school here in Washington State, you can join BECU at BECU.org. And now we have a question. Why is a well-known celebrity singing Backstreet Boys songs to his goats?
Why not?
All right. Well, you're going to figure this all out at 7:47 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River, the local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, you know, Kevin Bacon, the man it never ceases to impress because I found out that he likes to entertain his online fans by bringing a guitar to the goat pen behind his house and singing to the animals. Now, I've seen him and his wife, Kira Sedgwick, do some stuff with the guitar, and they'll be singing songs. But look, nothing against Kira. It's a nice homey scene. I've seen some of those videos of those two. But the goat pen, I mean, wow, I have not seen this. How did I miss out on this entertainment?
And apparently he gave Kira Sedgwick, that was a gift for an anniversary, were the goats.
Oh, really? Wow. That's, I don't know if that's what she wanted. I guess that's true love.
Well, I mean, so, yeah, I would imagine that he didn't just out of the blue just say, I'm going to give you a goat. That would be pretty funny, though. Right?
You know what? That would be, it's Hollywood, Steve. It's like, you know what? I mean, I was going to get you a washer, but, we've got 15 of them, so here's a goat.
Yeah, what's worse, a goat or a vacuum cleaner as a birthday gift or an anniversary gift?
The fact that he goes out with his guitar and says, I'm going to start singing to the goats, everybody, which is what he's been doing for fans. But he's also singing Backstreet Boys tunes, including this classic.
You are my fire.
Okay, this is great. He's actually singing in front of a couple of goats.
This is... I don't know what to make of it, but at the same time, I don't know if I can stop watching it.
I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart.
Like the goats are accompanying him.
Tell me why ain't nothing but
Oh, there he's petting a goat.
Yeah.
It's not an euphemism.
I never wanna hear. I want it that way.
Wow, they are having a lot of quarantine is I don't know what to say what quarantine's done for them.
There's a man who missed playing in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
He's like, screw it, I can't play in front of people, because he plays music as well in addition to being an actor. So I'm just going to go perform in front of the goats, because he's done other songs like Radiohead's Creep.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
I guess that would be kind of fun, and what the heck, you got to do something, right?
Well, he says the goats were insisting, so he had to try.
Oh, that's why.
They requested it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these are really smart goats.
Well, that's why my wife doesn't like goats. She's not a Backstreet Boys fan. She's an NSYNC girl, so.
Oh, yeah, that would be a problem. Yeah. So there you go. So that's what's happening in that world, a very stripped down way of going crazy.
He calls them #goat songs.
He also has, I think, llamas or alpacas.
His alpacas, too?
Yeah, look at those.
Oh, man.
How come he's not singing to them? What's wrong with the alpacas?
Well, he kind of is. Behind him's the alpaca, just like,
almost
looks like it's his security.
Oh, so now he's
the
outside.
Bouncer for the club.
Yeah.
This is, this is ranch living. I mean, they're out in the middle of somewhere. I mean,
man, this pandemic has brought out some interesting sides of some people, and this is
it really
definitely up
has.
there. Yep.
I got to tell you, though, give me all the money in the world, and I am never going to go get a ranch. Some of these Hollywood types love to go out there and get their ranches and live on the land and be farmers and stuff, whatever. Or that go out and, make vineyards, like Maynard. I wouldn't want to do any of that. That seems so much of a nightmare for me to be hanging with goats and picking grapes.
Wow, did Miggs just infer that a woman would prefer a vacuum cleaner over a pet as a gift? That's very 21st century. Subscribe to Good Housekeeping much?
Wow,
Did
dude.
I not get the joke was...
I'm with that texter. I can't believe I work with such a misanthrope.
Man.
I mean, really? What do you think this is? 1950, buddy?
Yes, I think that they would much rather a vacuum cleaner.
Everybody knows
pet.
it's a toaster that they would rather have, Steve. Come on.
Or a mixer, right?
The mixers.
The old mixers.
I got news for you.
That's the one.
The Vitamix, though, I think, listen, the Vitamix is the real deal. So, I think people would go for that because that ain't cheap. So we've got Kevin Bacon losing his mind this way. And let's go take a look at William Shatner, who just recently celebrated his 90th birthday. Which is insane to think that he's that old.
I've seen a recent picture of him. He doesn't even look like he's 90.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're absolutely right. I would put him close to 80, maybe, but I wouldn't put him at 90. 90. That's just nuts. And he's decided, look, at 90 years old, how much time do I have left? So he is having an artificial intelligence AI version of himself made so that friends and family can talk to him when he's gone. And, of course, William Shatner, he does everything. The guy is always involved in something. So basically, he is the brand ambassador for what's called Storyfile. It's a company that is doing just what he's having done to himself.
Imagine if you could record yourself in a way that future generations, hundreds of years from now, could talk to you. That's possible. With Storyfile, we can now be present in the future. Your authentic self for all time. The future is now.
Can we pay to have just him? Do we have to have a family member, or can we just have William Shatner in a special room?
See, I would like to have William Shatner. And Steve, you're absolutely right. That video I just saw, if it's great makeup or whatever, but he looks like my father, that I remember my father, and my father was in his 60s.
Yeah.
Looking like that.
He looks younger than my dad, and my dad's in his 70s.
That's insane. And William Shatner's 90. That's some great makeup work and great photography, whatever, or he really looks that good.
So the Storyfile thing, it says it harnesses the power of human spirit and human experience by extending the ability to have a conversation with those we love, those we are curious about, and those we admire. It's more than just a video. It's a gift of life.
Yeah.
So it's Cameo for dead people.
Yes.
I mean, that's all it is.
Kind of. But if you, and what I don't know, man, if you remember, like in the Superman movies, when he went to the solitude joint that he's at, the Fortress of Solitude, and he has a conversation. It's not his dad, but he has a conversation because it's artificial intelligence, so it knows how to answer him like his dad would. I think it's something like that where you could actually have a conversation with it and it would answer you the way that loved one would answer you.
Yeah, because it says, how spectacular would it be if you could ask Steph Curry to teach you about his jump shot? So you could have a celebrity person, too, you could talk to.
So I have a question, and I have Sarah in the room, and maybe Joey Dees can weigh in on this. I mean, Sarah, would you like me if I could do something like this, would you like to have this after I'm gone? You could go have conversations with me?
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Oh, for sure.
So a chance, if you just kind of needed some advice, you'd go into a room and talk to the hologram of BJ?
Hell yeah, I would. I think that would be so cool. I mean, hologram, amazing, and probably what would have to happen. But I'm so crazy. If you could somehow save his head, I would want BJ's head.
You mean like Futurama?
Yes,
in a jar?
Yes, his head in a jar.
Oh.
And then if it could talk to me too, that'd be so cool.
We have the technology.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
That escalated.
Well, I mean, they bring it up even in their little blurb. People love saving old voicemails from past, loved ones who have passed away, or pictures. We all still do. We would do that. This is just another level of that.
It would be, I think, a way maybe to help with the grieving process. I mean, now there's a great Black Mirror episode where that totally goes nuts, and you might want to check that out. I don't know the name of it if somebody wants to find the episode title, but Black Mirror takes this concept and explodes it beyond what your brain would think of. Because someday we're going to have the technology where maybe you never really ever have to lose anybody.
Now, I see your son's in the room, and I already can guess what his answer is going to be. He would want a hologram version of you that just says yes all the time. So you could be like, Dad, can I have some money to go to Vegas? Yes.
That's exactly right. I was thinking a really nice, sentimental message followed by a, now go have some fun with some blackjack and hookers, son.
Hookers?
Yeah, because
did you know that was going on?
Because that's the conversations we always had in real life.
Wow, I did not know that part of you in Vegas. Vegas Joe's a lot different than Seattle Joe.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, Steve, I mean, now here's what you're thinking about. I mean, you've got your little one. Mm-hmm. This would be kind of cool if she could have a conversation with, like, you at this age. Like, as opposed to when she's 20 and you're 20 years older. I wonder if you could do stuff like that where people get to talk to their loved ones at different ages where you never got to.
Also, if I say something to her and she's like, yeah, I want to go talk to 40-year-old version of you and see what he has to say.
Yes, exactly.
Dad, 40-year-old version of you said it's okay for me to go out and go drink with my friends.
Yeah.
Well, the young version of Steve is stupid.
So, Vicky, would you want this for your parents? Like, would you want to be able to go have conversations with them after they were gone?
I think it sounds creepy, but at the same time, I know that I would miss them so much that I would want that. So I'm going to have to say yes. Just
damn.
It's like I can't. Like it bugs me because I was thinking about them. Like I don't know what I would do without my parents, and it's like I'm feeling what Sarah feels when she thinks about this.
See, you immediately start crying, right?
No.
Well, I mean, like when Texter says I have a voicemail of my dad that passed away, and I keep it so I can hear his voice. I do have, like, I delete all my voicemails because I was the guy that my voicemail would always be full, but I would keep all my parents' ones. As the older they get, I'm like, I want to save the fun ones because of that. You think about that. It's morbid, but, like, those are like, that would be your last way of being able to still hear their voice.
Dude, I'm the same way. I have all of just my wife's on here. I mean, I've deleted everything and I keep my wife's on there, which, I don't have any of Joey or Sarah because I feel like, well, they should outlive us. But, right now I look at it like, well, it's going to be one of the two of us, either Kathy or me, who goes unless, so yeah, I do the same thing. Damn. Well,
now we're all depressed. That's great.
I know.
Can we talk about something else like farts and stuff?
Yeah, the ramifications of this is just, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but, of course, William Shatner is there. William Shatner, he's on Priceline. Now he's going to be like on the, hey, keep everybody alive company.
Well, I feel like, look, I'm William Shatner. If the check clears, I'll endorse it.
Yeah. And, here we are talking about him again, and it's called Story File. I wonder what the ticket is. See, that's the thing, is he hasn't told us the cost for this. This has got to be pretty expensive.
I don't know if it even has a cost on here yet.
Wow, that means it's really expensive. You know what? At this point, just put me on the Elon Musk rocket. It's probably that kind of price.
It's expensive when it just says, any questions about the Story File studio experience or legacy creation opportunities, email us.
No.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. There's issues.
When you don't put the price on there, that means it's expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Who played Lois Lane in the 2013 movie Man of Steel?
Oh, crap. Lois Lane.
No.
Okay, good try.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
No.
Lily Tomlin.
No. Whoa,
Lily Tomlin would have been great. And you just saw her recently, Steve, because she played the same role in Justice League. It was the same actor.
Jason Momoa.
Wow.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, I love this actor. No, Amy Adams, dude. I love Amy Adams.
Her name.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa's close. Between her and him and Amy Adams, it would be tough for me to decide who I'd want to go on a date with. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Amy. She was Lois Lane. And you want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on the Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.